President Biden vowed to pass the Equality Act in his first 100 days in office. If passed, it would expand the 1964 Civil Rights Act to prohibit discrimination based on sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity. But many argue that while the act gives rights to some groups of people, it takes them away from others. Attorney Paul Jonna from the Thomas More Society says it will eviscerate the religious protections that millions of Americans rely on.
There's no other way to describe it other than an assault on cherished religious liberty and way of life in America for tens of millions, hundreds of millions of Americans.
Jonna listed some of the ways this act would affect the daily lives of those who hold traditional or religious beliefs. It will repeal the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, which provides legal protection for people of faith, force religiously operated places like houses of worship and church halls to host functions that violate their religious beliefs, and punish faith-based charities like shelters and foster care agencies because of their views on gender and marriage. Jonna gave the example of a shelter for women who've been sex trafficked, noting that many shelters for victims of physical and sexual abuse only serve one gender, usually women.
Now, what happens when you have a male who identifies as female, who wants to be in this home where you have abused female victims who've suffered sexual abuse by males, and part of their healing and part of this ministry is designed to sort of get them away from that world that they just came out of. So if you're going to force a charity like this to now redefine gender and to expand the concept of what a female is beyond what science tells us, then you're basically saying you can't operate.
Jonna says everyone's rights should be respected, but that it shouldn't be at the expense of religious liberty. The act easily passed in the House, but its fate in the evenly divided Senate is unclear. He says if it's passed, his organization, along with many others, will challenge it immediately. Grace Coulter, NTD News.